Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in West Sussex in the UK, and I'm coming on to recreate, it's called a bay window card. It was inspired by a swap that I got from Rotterdam when we had our demonstrator event. This was from Claudine Lane, the French demonstrator, and I received that and I thought, how lovely. So I recreated it for one of my classes, and I used the Garden Meadow stamp set and coordinating dies. All of the images, there's dies to cut these out, and then there's a few extras. This beautiful archway, which not only does it cut out an arch, you can see it here, it creates a sort of bay window, so you get the internal bit to use on a project, and then this lovely stitched shaped round on the outside. And I thought it just looked so lovely. That the paper is what I'm going to use today, and it actually came as part of the Garden Meadow suite. It is still available online, and it's called Meandering Meadows, and it's just stunning. I'm jumping around all over the place, sorry. I recreated this with this version. Had a few technical issues, not very good with these videos, and hit pause and then didn't hit play again or record again, and so it missed the second half of this card. But so the background on this, the one we did in class, was made on basic white and blending brushes, and I added the colour as Claudine did to create the background, and then chopped it up to cover the panels. Here I used some of the Meandering Meadow DSP, and I actually, on this one, I used two pieces, and I just this paper has beautiful scenery on one side, and then there's sort of other bits on the other side. So that's what I did. I kind of used this as the grass, and I just tore it to create the background. Thought it worked really well. But for today, there we go. And it's called it folds. These type of cards fold flat to go in the envelope, and then there's always a little anchor to create this sort of little bay window part. So I thought I would just recreate the card using some of the designer series paper rather than recreate this one. Just keep it very simple. I know I always say that. I'm going to show you how I make the base, and then this is a piece of the designer series paper, so that I've already trimmed down. But so I've got a piece of thick basic white, and I'll bring my trimmer in. And this is great because it's got the arm. If you haven't got this, oh, it needs a bit of a clean. You pull this arm out, and it extends it to 43 centimeters or 17 inches. So this is half a sheet of A4, so it's 10.5, and then I'm going to cut it down to 29, just because it makes it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to do the scoring, and that's one of the things I love about this trimmer. It has a cutting blade and a scoring tool as well. Get the cutting blade out of the way. Now the first score line is 1 centimeter, and whenever I have short scores, I use there's a edge here, so you can push your card up to that, but anything from 1 to 4 centimeters, I always start this side because it gives you the most amount of support for the rest of your card. So that's at 1 centimetre, and I'm going to score there, and then I'm going to flip this around so that I can do the rest of the scores. That's just how it works for me. So the next one is at 5 centimetres. Then we go to 9.5, and I'm using, it's so easy to see, 9.5, 13.5, and then 14.5. And that will give us our base. And then while we've got the cutter here, I'm going to trim this designer series paper. Now I've already cut this to 10.2 centimetres. I know it's a bit horrible, but it gives a very thin border all the way round. And so we need a tiny little slither for the very first panel, and this is 0.7 centimetres or 7 millimetres. And then turn this around, and I want, next one is 3.7, and again it's clearly marked here, so it's not a problem to trim that. I'm just going to keep it in order though. So the next one is 4.2, so we're just going to 1, 2, and we need another 3.7, and then another skinny 7. Now you can do it either way. It is very thin. I'm going to come up from the bottom, and then don't throw away what's left, because we're going to use that on the inside of the card to create a bit of a stopper. And that is it for the paper trimmer. We can put that away. And then before I reinforce those score lines, I'm just going to, let's pop those down, and I'm going to get my glue out, and I'm going to glue those in place. And I can see, it's not very easy for you to see, I maybe should have done this with coloured cardstock so you can see, but just centre that between the score lines, and wet glue just gives you a little bit of time to manoeuvre that. It's one of the reasons I love the wet glue. You really don't need an awful lot. I'm trying to centre that and line it up with the piece on the previous panel. There we go. Hopefully that is straight. This paper is just so pretty, isn't it? But I'm using tweezers because I've done my nails. These are about 2 weeks in. I've tried, I went to a salon to get my nails done years and years ago, but found that they were left feeling really weak. And so this is a at-home kit with dipping powder from a company called Sassy Saints, and I absolutely love it. These are 2 weeks in, see, the purple colour. This is actually very similar, I think, to Fresh Freesia, which is one of my favourite Stampin' Up colours. As you know, if you know me or have watched any of my other videos, I may be aware that I'm a bit of a purple girl. This is just so pretty, this paper. I love it. And I am trying my hardest. It's stuck to my nail. I'll be able to pick that one up. To use the paper I buy rather than just keep it and look at it. I want to enjoy it, to use it and put it on projects. So you might find that I use a little bit more of my designer series paper. So there are the panels, and then I'm just going to fold that in half, reinforce that score line, and then we're going to fold up. You want to create a valley fold, so fold up that first score line, reinforce it. And before we do any more, we want to glue this so that it glues, adheres to the back of the card base. So for that, rather than just so that it's quicker to dry, actually Tombow doesn't take that long, I'm going to put some of our tear and tape on there, and it literally does just tear off. I'm going to use my pick tool because my nails are rubbish. I just can't pick anything up with them. And I'm going to adhere that down. Now before I go any further, I thought about it actually. Does everybody know about the Take Your Pick tool? Now this is something that we've had out for a number of years, and I find it one of the handiest tools. You buy, when you buy it, you get this a piece with two scoring ends, and you get a spare putty end like this, and these bits come detach, and you just put in the new one, screw it in. This end comes out, so you've got a piercing tool and a little spatula, and they're interchangeable, so you just slot them in and twist them to lock. It gives you the instructions on there. I tend to keep my my piercing tool on, and you've got covers. So that's the original, what you get in the original, but you also get, you can purchase a crafter's tool set. It's got a little guard, a bit like a rotary cutter for fabric, but it's pierced, so you can cut card and get a stitched look, or actually a perforated look, so they could tear a bit off. It's quite good for making boxes and things, I find. You've got a crafter's blade, which I think is really handy, and then you've got this sort of, it's like a toothpick, isn't it? That's great for taking bits out of dies or just little bits and pieces, so that's really good. A little hook there and a really tiny piercing tool, so it's much thinner than the original piercing tool. And then the last attachment you can get is a brush attachment. Comes with two foam pads, and this is great for getting all the bits and bobs out of your detailed dies. Now if you want me to do a better explanation or a demonstration about what these things do, just drop me a thing in the comments and I will do a separate video. I will just run through those for you. So yes, back to the card. So we've glued down the front bit, and now we want to fold that bit back. We're making it's called a mountain fold. So a mountain fold is that. We want another mountain fold, and then we want, this one is a valley, so it's going to go like that, and each time reinforcing that. So that is your basic bay window card. Now we have this bit, was the bit that was left over. Now you can either put that on another piece of card and pop it up, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue it to the inside of the card base. And I have made, let's just check that we're doing it up, right way up. I have made another version of this a couple of years ago, this sort of a bay window card, and actually it was a bay window tunnel card, an awful lot going on, and I will put a link to that sort of up here. So that's the great thing with our cards, we can actually scale up or scale down projects. You just have to work out the sizes. But yes, that could have gone on a piece of card and be popped up with dimensionals, which is what I did in this other card, and then you slide that underneath, and that is the hook almost. But that, I think this works rather well. So that is where it ends, and you've got then still the little seam. I am going to do just a little sentiment for this. So I have got here for you, and I've got one of the circles from the Spotlight on Nature dies. I made a card which I might give you a sneak peek of at the end, at my most recent card class, and it was using these dies. But I cut out, so this die set has it has 4 sizes in that design, 4 with that detail on the edge, and I'm going to use that one, and then 4 with that detail on the edge. But you can use the next sized out, so that goes on there, that goes on there, that goes on there. You can just actually use the next one down, and you would be left with just the detail on the edge. That makes sense. I mean, that in itself, that's lovely. You can do it with different cards and build it up, but what am I doing? Anyway, I will share some projects with this because it's absolutely beautiful, as is the Spotlight of Nature stamp set. So I've got for you, because this is from the Layering Leaves stamp set, and I'm just gonna use Memento, keep it very simple, pop that there, and I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. I've got some mini dimensionals, See what I mean about these blasted nails? There we go. I only want to get the dimensionals on there. I think I'm going to have that in the middle. So you don't want any dimensionals over this bit because that's going to tuck over the top. So I am going to, let's have a look. Let's put a trio. The nails are good for taking off the backing. That's about it. Oh no, it's to go in the middle there. There we go. That might be a little bit too big actually. It is, because you don't really want to push that further away. Let me see, I want a continuation of that, so that's not going to work. Because the trouble with that, and I will show you, if you've done that, actually we could just cut off the extra, couldn't we? You don't want to see that hanging out. But we can just, let's trim that out and see what it looks like. That looks all right. That is just so pretty. And then I'm going to, I've got some, not many, I've got these adhesive back dragonflies and butterflies. So let's get some dragonflies. And again, we'll use our take the pick tool. These are adhesive backed, so they have got, I'm going to put one on there. One on there. You know me and threes, so where shall we put the other one? Let's pop that there. Very simple. And then actually either you could put, I'm going to leave that blank, so you could put any of these. Thank you, so happy to celebrate you, best wishes, sending hugs, or thinking of you, depending on what you need. And I have been leaving my cards until I've got a purpose for them, so that they are there. Look, got a birthday, hello. I was so annoyed that I hadn't pressed play again on that one, but never mind, never mind. This is a sneak peek of the card that I'd made with those dies, the Spotlight and Nature dies. That will be in my next video, so hopefully that will be fairly soon. And I hope you are all well. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. Please give this a like and leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think. I'll stop babbling. Take care. Be kind. Bye for now.